Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com coming to you live. Well, it's not technically live. It's live right now as I speak, but we're on the Toledo Trade Show 2016 with Josh.
Yes, sir.
Josh, are you primarily the quadcopter FPV guy? Is that your main function?
I'm still really big into the helicopters, but undoubtedly the quadcopters are a ton of fun. So that's something that you fly out once, and before you know it, you're ordering everything and full on into it. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing it and getting heavier in it too.
So if you've watched or viewed any of my features and reviews on RC Groups, you know that I've owned Dromedas, that I've FPV'd Dromedas, and now I have the RXD 250, which is here, and we're going to get that flying as soon as I get back to Tennessee. So let's talk about what you have on the floor.
Sure, let's we'll walk around and let's see what we got going on here. So one of our new airplanes over here, or newer I should say, is the new Avistar 30cc. It's a semi-symmetrical wing, so it's a great trainer as well as a sports plane. It comes in a traditional tricycle gear, but you can also, it comes as stock as a tail dragger, but you can also put it in a traditional tricycle gear. Has flaps, ailerons, you can also do floats, and it has an optional tow hook release as well. It's got a large magnetic hatch there, so you can do electric or gas. It's a really great flyer. It can really grow with the average person too, so you get a whole lot of airplane in one airframe.
Hold on, Josh. Before we get too far, come back here, Matt Gunn. Josh, keep it RC. I know that you're featured in this with the elder statesman Frank Knoll.
Yeah, right.
So here's a cutaway over here. So it's basically you guys doing your thing in the RC hobby.
Right, yeah, so this is Keep It RC. It's a new channel from Hobbico. We do a bunch of different types of...
Here's good.
Oh, sorry.
Right there, perfect.
Get some good audio.
So we do a bunch of different types of videos. We've got some crazy stunt videos, workshop tours, just some raw uncut performance videos for your real hardcore hobbyists. Raw uncut, it's from takeoff to landing or from the second you plug in the battery landing. No cuts, so you can see exactly what's going on there. Some experts like Frank Knoll and Brad Brucker on the car side of things, giving some commentary, and then also some tips and tutorials. So check it out at keepitrc.com. There's a lot of really cool, fun videos to be seen.
And who's this guy? Because I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Is he a part of the team or just a youthful model?
He's a youthful model. No, he's one of our. One of the guys in advertising stuff. So.
Oh, okay, I was going to say he looks a little young to actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Keep It RC is good. So it's a RC channel, which is what we're always looking for, fun stuff to watch. This is the airplane I was talking about last time at dinner, the Escapade.
Right. So this is our 30cc Escapade. Great sport flyer. Has flaps, ailerons. Can be run with a 30cc gas or electric. Really good flyer. Would be a great first giant scale airplane for somebody. Just a lot of fun to do the sport flying, loops, rolls, hammerheads, snaps, all of that stuff. This is going to do at a very high level.
How high can this airplane fly?
Yeah,
No,
right.
I'm kidding. Okay, so now we're at the Extra 300, and I know it's not all about FPV. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm a little wrong about that one. But one thing I've been wanting to do, every time I put a camera on an airplane, I'm like, you know, it'd be awesome. Maybe I'd be able to take off and land. Maybe I could do some knife edge inverted passes.
Absolutely.
This thing would be awesome for that. It's perfect size.
It'd be a lot of fun. It's got a really light wing loading already to start with, so you can add a little bit of weight and not really feel the effects of it. But this is the Extra 300 from FlyZone. It's our first 3D capable airplane that we've released through FlyZone. It's got some really cool features to it. Double beveled hinge lines, so you can get really good throw out of it. It's got a really powerful little motor in there for 3S lipos, so you can use 1800 to 2200.
Awesome. Because all of us have 2200 3 cells.
Absolutely.
From all the quadcopters and everything else.
Everything else. So it's really good for that. I like to think of this as the perfect trunk plane. You charge up a couple lipos, put this in the back seat, and you get out to the field right after work and get a couple flights in and get out in 30, 40 minutes. So it's a great little airplane, a lot of fun. Has a magnetic cowl landing. The wheel fairings and the wheel pants are magnetic. It's also got a really large magnetic hatch.
How does this come off there? Nice. So
Larger.
this is new and reviewable. It needs to be reviewed.
Absolutely.
I might be the man on this one.
Me?
Me.
Yeah, do it, brother.
Too late.
I know, right?
Sure.
Hey, you take it. I think this is a gorgeous little plane. It's
And
going to do well.
it's my color set.
Yeah.
And it's comes in a receiver-ready package, so all you have to do is add your radio system, 3-cell LiPo, and you're off to the races.
And it's $169 out the door, and I love a price that doesn't hurt too bad. So
Yeah,
you're like, I gotta have it. You can order that and not really get dinged by your wife. She might not even notice.
So, Josh, quick, tell me.
Sure.
FlyZone likes to use these props with the
SFGs.
Yeah, what's the deal with these? Some people think they're a broken prop that actually got hit on the ground and they try to bend them back. I've had that happen on a lot of my planes, but they fly really well with these props.
Well, what that does is it basically acts as a floating wing, so it basically behaves aerodynamically as if the prop was actually bigger without it actually being a bigger prop. So it doesn't take as much muscle to move it, yet you get a little more efficiency because of the tips.
Cool, cool. All right, what else we got?
Let's go over here. I see the new RXD 250 sitting down here.
What's on Jim's back?
Oh, he's got a
Later.
new, he's got the new Rise backpack. But here's the Rise RXD 250. This is our first racing drone out of the new Rise brand. It's a 250 millimeter racing drone for FPV. Obviously, FPV is exploding right now. And this is constructed out of a foam carbon fiber G10 composite, so it's super, super durable. It's great for a beginner. It uses 3S LiPos, 1300 to 2200. So again, you probably have a LiPo batteries at home ready to go for this one. We're using the CC3D gyro system with Libra Pilot that's been pre-tuned for you. Super fun, great flyer. Comes $199 receiver ready, so all you need to do is add a 5-channel radio system and that 3S battery. And then if you want to make it FPV, add your radio system, your LiPo battery, and then add a flight camera, which we have an optional camera that is plug and play through Rise. And then through Tactic, we have the video transmitter and a receiver that you can use, or goggles.
I was going to ask about your video transmitter last night at dinner. We've got the hole here. So I was trying to put it on this rear deck right here. Should it go up on this unit and then have a 90-degree out with your antenna?
Either you can do it how you want. I've put some on the back, but what the hole's good for is if you run an extension, you can bolt the extension here.
Right.
And then if you hit your antenna, you're not damaging your video transmitter.
Right. Gotcha. Right. So I have this at the house, and I have never had an FPV backpack before. So it's the Rise backpack, and I'm in the wrong. So there's a outer shell, and then there's an inner. And so you've got a little bag here, a protective piece for your props. Your unit lives here. You can put your LiPos or sensitive material here. And there's a transmitter section. And
everything in here is Velcroable, so it's completely customizable. It doesn't come with a free gyro.
Yeah, but
so completely customizable. It's great for 370 size drones or 350 size, your DJI Phantoms or Zero Hubsan X4 Pro. We've put up to a 500 size drone in here with the arms folded, so you can get a lot of storage in there. It's great for if you're going someplace exotic and need to carry the drone. It's really, really good for that, and it's just handy to have for at home and stuff. You can get all your stuff in one bag and just pick it up and go.
When you get about 3 or 4 quads, it's nice to have a singular case. Like I do have one at home. So what'll happen is the RXD will live in this with all its props and all the things I need, and never come out of it. And that way, when I'm headed to the field, I know I haven't forgotten anything.
Absolutely.
There we go. There's a lot of stuff going on at the Hobbico booth. Right now, they brought out this new Orc vacuum cleaner. This thing is heavy duty. Get out of his way. I've been buying this vacuum cleaner for about 5 years now. This has got a brushless outrunner in it. It runs off LiPos. The cable is just to make other vacuum cleaners not feel bad.
All right, what you got there, Josh? This is a hot rod.
Yeah, this is great. This is the new B25 from FlyZone. It's obviously a micro. It's got twin motors, but they're counter-rotating, so you don't get too much torque effect. Has a lot of cool scale details. Has both rudders turn, as well as a steerable nose wheel, and then has ailerons, elevator, rudder, so it's a true 4-channel. We've added a lot of scale details to it, so we've got some panel lines in there. And one of the big things that's really cool is that we have a glass cockpit, and the gun turrets are also glass as well. So super, super cool, super scale. Great little flyer, uses a 1S LiPo battery, and comes in a ready-to-fly or transmitter-ready version. Ready-to-fly version will run at $119.99, and the transmitter-ready version will run at $109.99. So if you have a Tactic SLT compatible radio, you can use that.
So let's see those landing gear. Let's see those wheels. They actually look really scale, the wheels themselves. I think that's... There you go. Let's see if I can get zooming in on your face.
Oh boy.
There we go. Yeah, this thing's hot. Jim Graham, what do you think about the B25 Mitchell?
I have to admit something. I'm not really a warbird guy. So the great part is you are. So I appreciate your excitement.
I saw this sitting here, and I thought, oh my gosh, a micro B25. I need it.
That's right.
Now, while we're in this area,
Sure.
back in the old days, back in my Hobby Lobby days, in the heyday, the Shock Flyer was the very first mass-produced foamy that everybody. I mean, we were talking about on the internet. I think I sold 1,000 Shock Flyers at Toledo one year.
Oh wow.
So, is this Shock Flyer-esque? Is this kind of harkening back?
Yeah. This is a great little flyer. This is the Tower Flatty. It's a Tower Hobbies exclusive, loosely based off of the Laser 200. This was designed by Frank Knoll, actually.
I was wondering about the NIOLL.
Right. So. A little tribute to Frank there, as he did design it. It's a great indoor flyer made of Defron, really 3D'able, super affordable, and really quick to build too.
I notice you're not running a geared motor like you really should be out here.
No.
I'm kidding. You remember those things? Whoa! They just scream. Look at that tiny motor.
So this is the Rimfire 250, which the airplane was designed for. You can run it on 2S or 3S. 2S is what we really recommend. It's got everything. You can do everything you want with it. 3S just gets a little ridiculous on the power level.
Sure.
Hovering at like 15% throttle. So 2S, 450 to 700 milliamps, and that Rimfire 250 is a really good combo for it.
I know one of the things in the old days was how you connected everything here in your cross member to keep it from snapping and breaking. So are these just glued in, these two pieces?
Yeah, these pieces are glued in here, and then we also have some carbon rod that goes through the middle of the fuse, and then there's some carbon bracing on one side as well. So
There
it's
you
really
go.
rigid, really easy flyer, flies really well, and you can do all the hardcore 3D you want out of it, and it's going to exceed at that.
And speaking of retro, this thing looks pretty retro too.
Yeah, so this is another Tower Hobbies exclusive. This is the Ultimate Bite. Can be done in electric or nitro, so it's 46 two-stroke or like a 70 size 4-stroke nitro, or you can run a Rimfire 32 or 55 on it, depending on how hot you want that electric setup to be. Really good flyer, traditional looks. The inner struts don't require any tools to install or uninstall.
Are they magnets?
They actually have a little threaded.
Oh,
thread in
I
there,
see.
so-
It looks from. Oh, I see what that is.
Yep.
These are actually knurled little threaded adjusters. They look from a distance. They look like magnets. I'm like, well, that's not going to hold, but looks like you got it figured out. It's a good paint color too. I love it.
Really bright, shows up really well in the sky. Nice solid flyer.
So what's the price point on this one?
Price point, I believe, is $249.
You just about nailed it without even looking. $239.97.
$230, yeah.
Nice.
And
you know your stuff.
And that is an ARF version, so you still have to add your motor, electronics, receiver, all of that jazz in there as well.
What is this thing, John?
So this here is our new Tower Crazy Wing. This is another Tower Hobbies exclusive. This is the Crazy Wing. It was designed by Gary Wright. It's an ARF model that's really, really quick to build and a lot of fun. Price on it's $49.99.
What?
ARF. Super easy to build, super affordable. So this is a great airplane for just having a good time, sport aerobatics. If you ever had a desire to do combat, I think this would be a great model for it. And then
Streamer combat, right?
Streamer combat.
Not full-blown
no.
contact.
Gary's been designing 3D planes before there were 3D planes. So if he designed it, you know it's awesome. I dig the staggered servos here. That's pretty industrial. Well, I don't know, kind of off-roady, cool.
Yeah. It's kind of international scout cool.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
My first truck.
But
So pull that hatch off.
it's got a good sized battery hatch there. This is for 3S or 4S. So you can do 1800, 2200. Again, we made this so if you have a fly zone airplane or any of the foamy park size airplanes,
Ladies
this
and
would be a great
gentlemen,
one.
Gary Wright.
Come on in here, Gary. Step in.
Careful, I may use some hand signals.
Speak up, Gary. We need you on camera here, buddy.
So Gary was around in like, I think the Neat Fair and things like that in the early days, flying giant 3D planes, kind of wowing the crowds.
I started when dirt was invented. Yeah.
And then it's all come to this, the Crazy Wing,
Yeah.
your masterpiece.
I designed a bunch of airplanes last year, just for myself. This was the first one. I discovered this little motor that we sell in several airplanes. It's kind of a jewel. You can shove a lot of power through it, and it's really inexpensive. And I wanted another flying wing, so I drew this up.
This looks like the motor from the Tower Hobbies P51 Mustang.
And the Hellcat and the Zero and the Corsair.
I remember that motor. I like that one. It's got plenty power.
All the clevises and arms are included. You probably have to buy your servos and.
It's an ARF in the old sense of the ARF, so all the hardware is included. You have to buy the motor separately. That motor sells as a replacement for the P51 for around $20.
I was going to say $18.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very inexpensive. You need the motor, a speed control, a receiver, and 2 servos.
And some skills.
And some skills, baby. I wouldn't even FPV this. You'd ended up in the dirt.
Well,
actually, it's real easy to fly.
So, and it's got a real thick wing, and Gary can comment on the thicker wing.
I made the wing thick because I wanted it to turn very tight, and I wanted it to slow down really well for landing, so you could land it at your feet. The thick wing, of course, inhibits speed a little bit, but it does hit basically pitch speed of this motor. I run a larger prop on here than we recommend. I run a 9.9 on 4 cells, which it turns almost 11,000. Wow. So it's around 90-95 mile an hour pitch speed.
Ooh, moly.
That's crazy. That is a crazy wing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
Sure.
So when we go to Seth, the one thing that is always cool is night flying. And I have outfitted airplanes with copious amounts of LEDs. And usually I have a solder failure or a light failure or something, and then it never works. Anyway. So the beautiful part about this plane is it's ready to go, right?
Yeah, this is the Shiny from Flightwork. Has LEDs built right into it, folding prop, and is a really nice sport flyer. Gentle mannered, kind of similar characteristics to a stick. Does everything okay, doesn't do anything poorly. Just a nice gentle flyer, but it's got the LEDs built into it, and then it's got a trim scheme built into it so you can see the orientation while flying.
Let's see what we got here.
So it's white on the bottom.
Oh, all white on the bottom, colored on the top. Yeah, I know some people have said that they would think that it would be difficult to see at night, but I don't think that's going to be the case with this one.
No, it's pretty manageable, so especially inverted, but you do get to see the green and red a little more than you'd expect when it's up in the air.
And the retail on this is $229. Does it include everything? I'm assuming
this
so.
Is receiver ready, so it's got your servos, your lights, your motor, your speed controller. The only thing you need to add is your 3-cell LiPo and your radio system.
3S2200?
3S2200 would be great.
Attaboy, the common man's
We make it
LiPo.
easy.
The 350 of lithium polymers.
That's it, Bubba.
That's right.
350 Chevy.
So there's a lot of features. The Hobbico booth is really not a booth at all. It's kind of like a city block. And there are some Hobbico youth. Their hairstyles are out of control, and that's what the cage is for. This is Grayson. He is in the cage. Grayson, you can come out in 5 minutes. Hey, everyone, it's Rojo. Rojo, what's up?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
So, Will, you're on the, you're an iMac fanatic. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And your wife is an iMac supporter.
Well, she's probably as much of a fanatic as I am. Yes.
So, how did all that start? How did you guys get into it? How long? Let's say this. How long ago?
Well, we started in 1999, just messing around with it, and we had a good time. So we just kind of went from there. She is a supporter, or was a supporter at the time,
Right.
and it grew into more of she's part of the
Passion. Mm-hmm. And so, what are you going to be at next? What is the big competition you're headed to?
The biggest this year that I know of so far is going to be split between the Nationals in Muncie and the Clover Creek Semi-Invitational.
Well, Miss Ashley will be out there covering both of those, so
That's right.
be sure to be nice to her or give her trouble, whichever is the right thing to do.
Yep, she's good.
All right, thanks, Will.
Thank you.
So this is the Quick V6 for the Great Plains. This is a Jim Allen design. He designed it, and then we took it and ARF'd it for you, so it's really quick and easy to build. This thing has already won national championships in Quickie 500, so it's a great fast one. Very simple. We did a lot of updates to it. You can use all your popular engines. If you want to sport fly, you can use an OS. For your pylon racing, you can use the. It's designed to run off the jets and the stock classes for that. Really good fire, really fast. If you guys are into Quickie 500, this is an instant winner here. So.
Yeah, this thing's hot, man. What do you think, Jim?
I love the V6, and I can't wait for the V8.
Yeah. Well, all right, that concludes our tour, doesn't it?
so.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us in the Hobbico City Block.
Yeah.
Josh, man, always a pleasure, and I'm excited to see what Rise brings out next.
Yeah,
because
we're really excited. Keep tuned for it. There's a lot in the oven right now.
with a case like that, there's got to be other quads coming down the line.
Absolutely.
All right, Hobbico.
Thank you.